What is this, a Nintendo Switch commercial? Well, I just like the song, okay, and it seems rather relevant.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Hey, you turn me up, believer, believer. Hey, you turn me up, believer, believer.
YouTube. You seem to be fucking up. You're 12 years old now. You gotta start wearing those big boy pants. I guess some could argue that it's not you, it's just the content creators, but I'd like to imagine that there's a problem with both.
There's just a clog in the system.
Look, I know you want to pioneer the video sharing system, but conservatively backstepping it just seems like the wrong idea. You want creators to broadcast themselves, but only if they're marketable or kid-friendly. You so desperately want to be a television broadcast system, but if you were smart, you'd realize that television is soon to become a thing of the fucking past. Kids don't want to watch Fox. They don't want to watch CNN. They'd rather get their news from, a trusted, neutral source, such as Philip DeFranco. That's not really a dig on Philip DeFranco. I'm making jokes. All these reality shows are just antiquated forms of entertainment. And you should want to leave that behind. You should realize that YouTube could honestly be the future of entertainment, the pinnacle, if you were to stop focusing on just these ancient architects that have been around for so long. The world is constantly changing. You want to change with it, not rely on what's worked in the past. But this can't happen if you keep single-outing creators, or creators keep backpedaling themselves. I mean, just to put it fucking loosely, YouTube is fucked. I think one of the biggest problems is that YouTube is just far too elusive, especially to the content creators on the site. I understand that they don't necessarily owe anything to us as content creators. Look at you putting yourself in that group. You look like you have big boy pants on too. It's kind of like being mad at a prostitute for not disclosing how many dicks she sucked. You want to play a game? Well, why don't you take a shot every time that I make a simile or a metaphor, and you're sure to be blasted by the end of this fucking video. But you at least think an employer would release a memo giving some people a vague idea of what the fuck is going on, especially to the people that are YouTube's primary source of income. Without them, there is no money in YouTube. Advertisements can be around as much as they want, but without actual traffic coming to these sites, they don't nothing makes money. But these bigger people, they should at least have a vague idea of what's going on, so when some changes start getting instituted, people don't freak the fuck out, and thousands upon thousands of people start making videos like, oh my god, YouTube is changing! The world is falling apart! Holy shit! I mean, overacting content creators, that's just another issue within itself. Even if we just talk about the sub glitch, if there's a sub glitch, don't just brush it off. Don't act like people are fucking stupid. What should happen is, anytime that you decide to install a program, just send a little memo out. Just send a little auto-generated email to all your big content creators. Have it be one of those lovely milestones that you get, for whatever subscribers. Like being able to change your URL. But you just get a little memo and it's just like, hey faggot, we're testing this program. So if your subscriber count gets fucked with, don't freak out. We'll fix it. But we're just trying to test this thing to make sure it works out. And you don't even remotely have to get super specific about it. You just gotta warn these creators. Just be like, hey, by the way, this is happening. If any problems arise, let us know. But most of all, we'll fix everything that happens. So if you aren't aware of this wildfire that's kind of decided to take the internet by storm, presented by one Daniel Keem, there is this rumor that YouTube is trying to sort channels into age groups. So basically, ranging from kid-friendly to teen to mature, to provide as a sort of censorship for children. And you won't be able to see channels if they are above your certain age group. This is a censorship on creators issue already, like, you know, forcing people to, like, oh, I gotta make kid-friendly content or people won't be able to find my channel, I won't be able to grow, God forbid, I gotta do something I don't like. What really bugs me is that the decision for what is bad for a child is instantly stripped from the parent. YouTube may believe that kids shouldn't be watching iDubbbz say nigger faggot, but guess fucking what? YouTube didn't spend 9 months growing this child and squeeze it out its little hoo-ha. YouTube doesn't pay for little Johnny's roof over his head. YouTube doesn't feed him on a daily basis. YouTube doesn't do anything. YouTube is an entertainment provider, not a decision-making machine. It's kind of the same as the NC-17 rating in the film industry. I don't think that the NC-17 rating should even exist. All it's doing is stripping free will from people. And that's fucked up. And even then, when I was 9 or 10, I created an 18 and up YouTube account just so I could watch lesbians making out. It's not fucking rocket science. Not to mention the amount of children that are making content that could easily be deemed outside of their age range. And honestly, who gets to decide what it's too mature? It's just subjective. I have a 13-year-old sister. Don't do the math. She enjoys watching my videos. And if this restricted mode becomes mandatory, she suddenly doesn't have that choice, regardless of what my mother says. It's just bullshit. Good portion of the commentary community is deciding to make these videos all relating on trending topics, what could be seen as a hot topic in the world of YouTube. Whether it be iDubbbz making another content cop, some big YouTuber having a mental fucking breakdown, or an irrelevant news site posting some reproachful, ignorant bullshit, yeah, these niggas are sure to come lick up the scraps. In theory, I totally get the benefit. Half the battle of YouTube is trying to prove to people that you fucking exist. But a majority of these people that are creating these videos are just lazy, boring, and uncreative. They all stretch out these simple topics, not really adding anything to the conversation whatsoever. I get that you want more views. I totally fucking get it. But you need to approach these topics because you have something to add, because you have something different to say. Make the video because you want to make the video, not because you want to get more views or because you feel obligated to cover it for your little minions. An audience can spot passion from a mile away, and suddenly it becomes a shitload more easier to make a 10-minute mark when you actually have something to say about an issue. And it doesn't help when all you see are video after video after video about these fucking topics. It gets to be too much. There's just too fucking much. You know, you don't want to go to the store and have to pick between 15 brands of jelly. A consumer just doesn't need that many choices. In some study, they tested the consumer on 2 different displays of jelly. One of the jelly had 15 jars and the other had 4, each being different flavors or brands or whatsoever. And what they learned is the display that had less options granted more sales. More people bought when there was less to choose from. Is this actually relatable to the business and marketing of YouTube? That's up for you to decide. Now, the history of YouTube, or the idea of video sharing in general, can easily be broken down into this very simple kind of formula. Content type emerges, whether it be comedic reviews, let's plays, commentaries, pranks, and they get a lot of attention, they get a lot of popularity, and a lot of people start subscribing to them. So then people are like, wait a minute, I can do that too, so let me try and do that. So then there's all these other people that kind of join them, and they all get to sit at the top. But then so many people start to do it that the content type gets oversaturated, and it becomes almost impossible to penetrate. So then another content type comes along, so all these people kind of move and they shift. It's just a cycle. And so this section of the video honestly goes hand in hand with the trending topic, because a lot of the people that are covering trending topics, well, almost every single one, are in this self-proclaimed commentary community. But this is more so kind of a reflection on what the commentary community has become in general. Just this stretching videos so that they can put more ads because they're money-hungry motherfuckers, being unable to take criticisms, being called out as being too thin-skinned or whatever, and finally being self-aware of the shittiness of their videos. Now I just want to break this down. First of all, stretching videos, that's a shitty fucking thing to do. If your primary goal with YouTube is to make money, then you should fuck off. And if you have some bullshit excuse like, oh, I have a family to take care of, then get another job that supplements it. I work a full-time fucking job, 40 hours a week. I don't monetize my videos, and yet I'm still paying for this fucking house that I live in, and am still able to pump out at least weekly. I know you want to be PewDiePie. I know you want YouTube to be a full-time fucking job, but that shit, it just takes work. You have to fucking earn it, not by skating by on 5 mid-roll ads on a 10-minute video. And secondly, if you can't take any amount of criticism, then there's just a few things that you need to fucking learn. But first off, if some asshole doesn't like the shit that you're doing, who fucking cares? As long as you like it and as long as you believe in the shit that you're creating, that's all that fucking matters. And also, not everyone's gonna fucking like it. And more importantly, fuck being liked. As long as you have a handful of people that continually stick by your side, I think you're gonna be alright. It's just gotta come to a point where your drive to make videos is coming within you, not being based on what everybody thinks about you. Not everybody's always gonna like it. That's just how it fucking works. Just get the fuck over yourself. And finally, just the self-awareness. Now, I'm guilty of this. I am 100% guilty of this. But honestly, this idea of just self-deprecation is only gonna get you so far. You can only say, oh, I make shitty videos so many times before people go, hey, he's right, he does make shitty videos. And then they leave you to die in the fucking sewer. This is back on the word of the day of passion. Regardless of how self-aware you make yourself out to be, it's what's inside that fucking counts. You need to use your self-awareness as a means to improve. What's the definition of insanity again? Oh yeah, repetitivity while expecting varying results. You can't keep making the same fucking mistakes and say, oh, I know it's bad. You just look like a fucking scumbag. You know, if a chef keeps making over-salted soup, he keeps over-salting his soup, and everybody says, hey chef, your soup, it's a little fucking salty. And he keeps saying, well, I know, I just make bad soup. I don't know how to fix my bad soup that I'm making. That guy's not gonna be a chef much longer. If you want this to be your full-time job, treat it like one, you fucking pussy. I think Keemstar has a point when he says that the commentary community is a bunch of pyro clones. I totally fucking get that. Regardless of what his actual intentions are, I do think it'd be nice to see a lot of these well-deserving commentators kind of get their chance to prove to the world what they're about. People with unique voices and formats like finally get to see the light of day. Kavos isn't the fucking answer. He may have a more brash perspective, but at the end of the day, he isn't much more different than the rest of the fucking community. His hard-hitting commentary isn't all that intuitive, and rather than seeing him be this kind of police force of the commentators, I'd love to see that cunty attitude directed at a more diverse array of subjects. And that's kind of a problem that I personally have with the YouTube community in general. There's just too many channels specifically based on talking about YouTube. There's an entire fucking world of bullshit. Why would you limit yourself to only one form of media? It's sabotage is what that is. And just as a final note, we don't need a police force to keep channels in check. If you don't like what someone's doing, call them out. But more importantly, just don't fucking watch them. If you're salty because they're doing better than you, then you just have to work harder to prove that you're better than them. I believe that the people that are in this business for the right reasons are the ones who are gonna stick around. And they'll succeed in the end. It's almost as if viewers can choose what they like and what they don't like. Well, unless YouTube has a problem with that. It sounds like I'm going to contradict myself. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to make videos on other YouTube channels. What I'm saying is, the problem is, there are actual issues out there. There are actual channels that are making shitloads of money for stealing content. Multiple ads, it's scummy, and I agree. But that doesn't make that person bad, it just makes them a fucking asshole. There is a whole world of fucking people that are legitimately manipulating people, view-botting, stealing content, and in perspective, an extra couple ads is small potatoes. If you eliminate the commentary community with that forked fucking tongue, then there's no competition. WWE's peak was in the 90s. Everybody fucking loved the Attitude Era of wrestling. And the only reason it was so controversial and so comparatively good was because WWE had competition with WCW. It tried to force them to be better. It tried to force them to be more controversial. Without superpower Russia nipping at our heels in the 60s, we would have never made it to the moon. Competition is the key to improvement and progression. Never forget that. And a commentating on the commentary community isn't meta. It's just fucking retarded. Everybody just wants to be iDubbbz. Everybody wants to call people out on their bullshit, but instead of actually finding problems, they're just drawing them where there aren't any. YouTube is fucked, but I feel like that's always been a thought since the beginning of time. Just because the platform changes doesn't instantly equivocate it with being bad. People just resist change. I'm personally done hearing about channels complaining about not getting, not being popular, not getting enough subs when they have tens of thousands of subs already. Some people just focus so deeply on that sub number that they just lose sight of the reason they started making videos in the first place. Growth is important, I get that, but making multiple videos about how you're not getting enough views or putting out content that you're not happy with because you feel obligated to make the videos is just wrong. Take your time. Put in the effort. Make videos you care about. There's easily an audience for everybody out there. You just gotta find them. If you don't like your content, then change it. Do what the fuck you want. Life is too short to continually force yourself to do shit that you don't even like. And if YouTube changes, try to see the positive. Wait it out. YouTube's not gonna instill a program that fails and keep it going just for the sake of your discomfort. And more importantly than anything that I've ever said in this entire video, just be yourself. Just be your fucking self. I hope you dug this video. If you're new, I hope you think about clicking on that sub button, especially if you've made it to this point in the video. And as always, this has been JBoss TV, okay? Signing out.
Hello everybody and welcome to another segment on JBoss TV OK? Ask the Doctor, where the doctor takes a look at your questions and inquiries and gives you the best advice that he can.
Hey, I am the doctor, and I am here to give you your daily dose of advice. Today we have a fine letter from an individual by the name of Timothy, and Timothy, as always, has a problem. It says here, "Dear Doctor, my name is Timothy, and just a couple weeks ago my grandmother had died. She passed away from cancer and other complications involved with her health. I've been feeling quite down lately, and I was wondering if you could give me any help regarding getting over the idea of grief. Any help would be of great importance. Thank you, your boy, Timothy." Piss on your grandmother's grave. Dance on her bones, take a shit in her skeletal fucking mouth, and just move the fuck on.
Thank you everybody for joining us in this segment of Ask the Doctor. If you have any problems or inquiries, be sure to send an email to askdrjboss@gmail.com. Thank you.